Hello, this is Brent Time, and today I'm here to uncover a mystery. Before we begin, let's just forget a few things. The fact that the multiplayer zombie survival genre has been beaten to death. The fact that the only game to survive in this genre is DayZ. The fact that a certain YouTuber may not be giving his honest opinion and doesn't see the reality of this game's situation. And the fact that this same YouTuber pointed out a long time ahead of the rest that a certain game was a scam. This same game will be mentioned often in this discussion as well. So let's begin. I want to start off by saying I appreciate opinion, and that's what my constitution allows for, and I will not be blocking comments on this video. Insert awkward pause until audience realizes exactly what I am referring to. If you do disagree or agree, please put it in the comment section below. I will be bringing forward multiple pieces of information that allows the consumer to fully understand the product that is Nether. If you have not heard of this game, please click a link in the video description below to check out the game for yourself. To sum it up, it is an upcoming game in the zombie survival open world PvP genre, or whatever you refer to this genre as. This genre spun out of control with its debut in the extremely popular DayZ mod, which is closing its standalone release. I begin with the connection to Infestation Survivor Stories, better known as the War Z. If you are unaware of the War Z, it was a supposed cash grab by the developers and shareholders, which also seats itself in a very low Metacritic score. This same cash grab has extreme similarities with this upcoming game Nether. I'm going to start small and work my way up so that you can better understand the resemblance. I don't exactly know how to explain the graphical resemblance, but take out the dark filter that is in place in Nether and the textures look similar, and even certain models remind me specifically of War Z. I understand this is purely opinion and there's a fair share of games that have similar textures, but usually that's due to the fact that the game's engines are mirrored versions of each other. In this case, the engines are separate, but still the resemblance is there. I still don't sit on this one as a detour from the game, and neither should you. After all, gameplay is king in all games. Let me teleport you back in time, before the War Z, when all we saw were YouTube videos of this upcoming game. I remember the specific scripted nonsense of each video, and if you had watched any of the gameplay trailers for Nether, it's the same kind of thing. But let's not use this as a huge pushing point because AAA games do this all the time. But let's think back to the original site of WarZ.com, where it asks you to give them your email for a chance to get into the closed beta. Do you know why they did this? There were no beta keys sent out. They wanted the ability to see how many people were interested to present to their stockholders. They wanted to be able to send you updates on the game in order to raise hype and ensure you knew about it. And finally, for you to go, well, if you just let us buy it, well, I would rather do that. Well, Nether has done the same damn thing. Signing up does nothing for you, because now they have a buy before release. The way the game will be played is entirely similar, a few changes in gameplay. In War Z, you travel around with a group because alone is almost impossible due to the environment threat. Players also pose a threat, but the threat of players is constant. You go to players' safe zones in order to store your equipment into a global inventory, and in these areas you cannot be killed. The loot areas are outside these zones, however, and you can be killed on sight as soon as you leave the designated areas. These loot areas are only in small towns and cities, and almost entirely found inside a building. The huge change I've seen in Nether thus far is the fact that the safe zones aren't entirely safe from the environment threat, and the city itself is the entire map, rather than a map that is almost entirely wilderness. We are not even going to discuss the microtransactions because this in itself is just wrong. The next segment of information is the connection of Nether LLC and OP Productions LLC. The first case, and probably the weakest, is that the offices of OP Productions LLC, or Hammer Point Interactive as it's known as, and Nether LLC are literally an hour and a half away from each other, both being located in the state of Delaware, which doesn't mean much, but does show that they can easily work together. In Sergei Titov's words himself, Nether executive production team had/have, he's not sure now, ties with OP Productions shareholders, so this is why the games look very similar when announced. Finally, the lawyer Stephen Baruchka, not exactly sure how to pronounce it, registered the trademarks of both Infestation Survivor Stories and Nether, showing a complete connection. But it has been argued that, well, game companies pick up similar lawyers all the time. Well, this same lawyer failed on the War Z patent and almost caused OP Productions to be sued. Why would another company who would look deeply into their lawyer's other registered trademarks, which are public record, ever sign up with him? With so many other choices, one with a bad record was chosen. I find this a little bit sketchy. I'm done. If you agree, please like, and if, well, you disagree, dislike. But please, I want you to post your opinion in the comment section below. I don't hate Nether, and I don't hate the War Z. I hate these corrupt business practices, and I don't want anyone to fall subject to what happened last time. You know the saying, they fool me once, shame on me? Well, this is the fool me twice part. See you, and please make an informed decision.